Hello, it is Throwback Thursday, October 8th, 2020. Steve Sipress here, throwing it all the way back to the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Next year will be the 150th anniversary. So today is the 149th anniversary, appropriate for Throwback Thursday. The fire lasted for 2 days, killed a few hundred people, and destroyed, I don't know, about almost 20,000 buildings, just decimated a whole 4 square miles of Chicago. Now, my beautiful wife Michelle and I, before we moved here to way too hot and way too sunny southern Arizona, lived in Chicago. I was there for about 15 years, and I ran one of the largest groups of entrepreneurs in the world that I called Chicagoland's Sharpest Entrepreneurs. So it was ingrained into us in the city of Chicago about the Great Chicago Fire. And just about anywhere you went downtown, there were reminders of it and historical plaques, and on this site set, and this thing survived the fire, but that didn't, and blah, blah, blah. But here's the deal. Important, and I believe extremely timely lesson to be learned from the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. And Toby is here, great seeing you, and no, I am not about to do a cannonball into my pool, but I know you're busy typing it out right now as I speak. So, what is the story behind the Great Chicago Fire? Well, first of all, the whole myth that it was started by a cow in Mrs. O'Leary's barn kicked over a lantern and set the thing on fire, and that was debunked, and she was officially exonerated, 100 years after she died. But it's not believed to be the cause. But no matter what was the actual cause, the spark that lit that particular fire, there were tons of fires in all around Chicago in those days because just about everything was built out of wood, including the sidewalks. Like, everything was wood, and there were 20 fires a year, and that was the big one. Lasted 2 days and consumed 4 square miles. But here's the deal. Is that reminiscent of anything that's going on right now? Well, right now, this current shutdown is not exactly, there aren't flames burning bright into the night sky, but it is definitely consuming all kinds of businesses and all kinds of jobs and all kinds of people's lifestyles all across the world. Here in the U.S., it's estimated that over 100,000 businesses that have, quote, temporarily closed due to the extended shutdown, extremely extended in anti-Trump states as a political move to attempt to get him out of office because, hey, the economy can't recover if we don't open the schools and don't allow the businesses to reopen, and then all the most needy people that can't just zoom in to work and do it remotely on a computer, they work in the hospitality industry. So let's just keep all the restaurants and hotels and travel all shut down. So all those, bartenders and waiters and maids and cooks and chefs and cleaners and janitors, they all stay out of work. So, and then we'll get them to all blame Trump. And so this is all going to be ending soon. But in the meantime, it's estimated that over 100,000 of the businesses that have been temporarily closed down will never open again. So to me, that's reminiscent, especially today on the 149th anniversary of the Great Chicago Fire, of a natural disaster, this one being man-made in response to a natural, or now there's rumors, I guess there's always been rumors about whether this virus was man-made and unleashed on the world or whether it was natural, but the virus is one thing. The shutdown and the continuous, never-ending, it seems, lockdowns and threat of more lockdowns is what the real problem is. That has harmed more people in more ways than the virus ever could have, of course, including decimating businesses. But did you know that within a few years of the Chicago Fire, they had rebuilt that entire area, which was a whole bunch of the downtown area and the real populated areas right next to downtown, rebuilt the whole thing, of course, not out of wood this time, so now out of brick and, much more smartly put together, and the population boomed. There was about a 50% increase in the population in Chicago within a decade after that fire, and it went from becoming a fairly sizable city to becoming one of the leading cities in the world. So that's the lesson that I have for you here today on Throwback Thursday is if your business or your industry or your whole area or your life or whatever has been decimated by this shutdown and the continued arbitrary and authoritarian lockdown orders that, they keep dreaming up a new rule and regulation every day, it seems. I know that's nothing to celebrate. Notice I didn't say happy anniversary, Great Chicago Fire, because while you're going through it, and I've been there, I've started and ended dozens of businesses in my life, so I know what it's like, the excitement of starting up, all the excitement of growth, and the downside of having to close the doors. But when the doors close, very often, things can be built back even stronger than before. So my lesson to you is to pay attention. It's not just the shutdown that caused the demise or the destruction or the big downturn in your business. Not necessarily, not unless you're going to tell me that every single business of your kind or in your area has gone out of business. That's something I had to come to grips with myself when I ruined my first multi-million-dollar business. At first, I blamed it on all kinds of outside factors. Oh, it was this, it was that, it was this. Later on, through some good mentoring and coaching, I came to grips and to realize that, wait a minute, not every single business in the industry or in the area went out of business because of all those things. So I looked in the mirror and I realized it was me, and I learned a lot of lessons from it. So that's the lesson today. Learn lessons from these tough times, from what's going wrong. And if your business has shut down, start another one up. Best time ever to start a business is in a downturn, so this is the greatest time of opportunity of our lifetimes. I don't think you'll ever see another downturn as severe as this. Hopefully not. There hasn't been one in our lifetimes unless you're old enough to have been running a business back during the Great Depression, and likely never to happen again. So this is the time. Take advantage and come back stronger than ever. Don't rebuild the same as you were before. They didn't rebuild Chicago with wooden sidewalks and all wooden buildings and say, oh, we're in danger again. We didn't learn anything. They rebuilt it bigger, better, and stronger than ever, and the city went from, on one level, to a whole nother level, became a world-class city, the third largest city in America still to this day. So that's my wish for you, that no matter what's going on in your business right now, you look around through all the trouble and you say, how can I rebuild but not do business the exact same way? Think of the Great Chicago Fire and say, I'm not going to rebuild a business that's real susceptible next time there's an arbitrary shutdown by whatever mayor, governor, president, whoever does these things. Like, that's no way to build a business that is susceptible to the whims of somebody else, whether it has to go away again. Build it stronger, build it smarter, do the right things, take advantage of the changes that have happened so far and that are going to continue to happen. If you don't have the right guidance, I highly suggest you get around successful people that are making the right moves, looking at things the right way, and they're building businesses bigger, better, and stronger than they were before the whole shutdown and extended lockdowns began. And if you want help from me, you go to helpfromsteve.com. I can't stay on the phone with you all day, but I'll talk to you real briefly and give you some concrete advice and set you on your way and hopefully help you. If not me, hopefully get some help from someone else. And if not, if you're celebrating because you already done that, hey, Steve, I've already done all that. I've pivoted, I've changed, I've rebuilt my whole business stronger than ever before. Congratulations for you. You will look back and not celebrate, of course, because there's lots of misery going on. You won't celebrate this time of the great lockdown, shutdown, recession, depression, whatever is going on that history will show. But you will look to it as, that was the time that I was forced to make some major changes that happened for the better, and my business wouldn't be the way it is now. This is what you might be saying in 5-10 years in the future. man, I wouldn't have all the success I'm having if it wasn't for all that trouble I had back then. That's my suggestion to you, to have the right attitude looking at it right now. Not always easy. I know, I can tell you from firsthand, almost never easy or fun to look at it while you're going through it and to look at it positively. But that's what we do. That's why we're entrepreneurs. That's why we're business owners. We know we take a risk, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but we don't quit. We come back, we make adjustments, we're smart about it, and we rebuild bigger, better, and stronger than ever, just like Chicago did from 149 years ago today. And Toby says Buffalo. Toby, born and bred Buffalo his whole life, says Buffalo burned December 30th, 1813. So there you go. Not quite all the way back, or even further back, I guess. And that's not even from, like, Louisiana or the South that was burning in the War of 1812. So, and you can see, same thing happened at Buffalo. Buffalo built back stronger than ever. So they are one of the major cities in the entire, oh, wait a minute. What's the deal, Tobe? Buffalo looks like they didn't pull a Chicago because, hate to break it to you, but I'm sure you know they're the brunt of many jokes. Not exactly a world-renowned, respected city. So hopefully your business is more like Chicago's rebuilding than Buffalo's rebuilding. But either way, they both rebuilt. It's not like you sit there and go, oh, Buffalo used to exist, and then the fire came and it's gone. You don't want to say the same thing about your life and your business. And that is my lesson to you today on Throwback Thursday, October 8th, 2020. Thanks, Toby. Thanks, everyone else watching here live, watching on the replay. Hopefully you're enjoying whatever's left of the day where you are. We're enjoying another spectacular, beautiful sunset. Not well captured by my phone camera here, but it is beautiful. And I'll be back tomorrow with some more business building tips for you on Foundation Friday. Catch you then. Over and out. Bye-bye.